Not necessarily individuals, apart from the chairman and one or two persons that are individuals. They are representing existing bodies. And we made sure that for everybody that is serving a representative to be a male and a female, because we know that Borno State is a predominantly Muslim state, and there are a lot of restrictions in terms of wives of senior Muslims being exposed to the public, and that's why we put so many women there. So if you want to testify in camera, you take women with you so that you'll be able to give us the information. We are pleading that they should cooperate with government. They will need the identity of these girls, their photographs, and wherever they are, we are talking to all neighboring communities and countries, Cameroon, Niger, Chad, Benin, and of course even across North Africa, so that wherever they take these girls, so we will surely get them back if we get the maximum cooperation from the guardians and the parents. Let me again reassure Nigerians, we'll get the girls out, appreciate the consumption by Nigerians and even our friends and brothers globally, because we've seen what they are doing in terms of protest, which is quite healthy, because it's good for us to express our displeasure by this act of few people to keep the country backwards, to move the world backwards, at a time when the interest of government is to improve on the economy and create jobs for our people.
Mr. President, sir, there are rumors that government is negotiating with the abductors. Do you know them? And is it true that you are negotiating?
You can't negotiate with somebody you don't know. Nobody has claimed ownership of this abduction. Nobody. Even in the Twitters or the other social media that normally the Boko Haram used to show what they've done. When they bombed the Disney office, they showed us that they were in charge, they bombed, and they even showed us what happened in a number of cases. As regards these girls, I don't know, you are journalists, you know more than me, because I hardly have time to go to the social media, but we have not seen. So you cannot negotiate with somebody who has not ownership. Even the Boko Haram, the spokesperson, have not come to tell Nigerians, I'm not aware that we did the kidnapping. So the issue of negotiation has not come up.
Mr. President, it's now 3 weeks that these girls have been abducted, and you mentioned that you deployed all the state might to search for them. Up till now, your government has not been able to find them. Where are they? Are they in Nigeria? And how much longer should Nigerians wait for them?
Government needs assistance, and that's why I'm even happy. 3 weeks, yes. These girls' disappearance cannot be another mystery that the world was unable to solve. Recently, we talked about the Malaysian aircraft that just disappeared, and up to this time, the whole science of the disappearance is becoming mysterious to experts in the aviation sector. The biggest countries in the world with technology cannot tell us exactly what happened to the aircraft. These girls cannot be another thing similar to that. I'm telling you that the good thing is clearly, the good thing about it is that we've not heard of any harm done to them. Yes, there were rumors that some of them have been married out. Married out to who? Where? If people marry them, they must live a life. You cannot continue to hide them forever. And I'm telling you that where all the communities they've mentioned, sometimes you say, oh, in this forest, on this hill, the Air Force will go and scan, Army will go and search, and will not see it. But so we are now looking beyond. These girls are in Cameroon, they are in one isolated place. We are now looking within the communities around. And that is why we are sending this team. And I believe by the time we send this team to Borno State, these are people in civil societies, they are journalists, they are parents, they are members of the NUT, National Union of Teachers, the Association of Nigerian Principals, the Association of the Parents' Association. These are the people. So they will be committed because they are children of their own students. So we'll send people that will go there with commitment and empathy to solve the problem. And I believe the ordinary people who probably will be afraid of the police will be able to go and give us information. These girls must be within these areas. And we'll be able to assess the parents. We have the records from the WAEC office. 530 students were registered for WAEC in that center. Presently, about 193 have been relocated to another school, and they are writing the exams. Some of the boys are not even writing the exams now. Based on the total number of boys, about 130 boys registered, but so far, some of them, the last compulsory paper that was written was mathematics. Some of the boys didn't even go for the mathematics, and the number of the girls didn't go for the mathematics. The assumption is that these girls that didn't go for the mathematics, this is a compulsory exam, maybe among the kidnapped ones. But because the boys were day students, the school was a female school before. It was a girls' school. But because of lack of secondary schools within the area, and the boys were going to distant places, and that they were being waylaid on the roads, so they decided to make it a co-educational school. So you have about 130 boys that also registered for the WAEC, and they stayed. There were no hostels for them, so they stayed in their homes as day students. Some of them too are not writing some of them too didn't write the mathematics. So you cannot just put it as if you have concluded that aspect that all the girls who did write for the mathematics were kidnapped. No, there must be a little more. Of course, we do know that not everybody will register for exams, go for the exams. So we are working on it. The human angle, that is the angle of the cooperation that we need from the wards, from the guardians and the parents, is critical. And if the parents and the guardians give us that cooperation, we'll surely get these girls out.
So in essence, Mr. President, there's no confirmed information about where these girls are?
No.
The security agency?
No.
Mr. President, sir, it is grossly unfair to accuse you of not trying your best. In fact, when the list of the members of the committee came out recently, people applauded it. But there's a difference between a desire to accomplish and a capacity to deliver. You know quite well, sir, that the Niger Delta insurgency was resolved in a particular manner, using elders, community leaders, and people of integrity whom those militants could trust. And they were able to go into the creeks to meet them, to engage them, and then at some point, we got that battle resolved. To what extent, sir, is the government attempting to adopt that type of approach with leaders from Borno, Yobe, so that they, because this is their area, and it's expected that they should have some level of commitment to ensuring that peace reigns in that part of the country?
Luckily, you talked about the Niger Delta and a situation where I was involved from beginning to the end. I was a deputy governor. In fact, the elections that brought us into office in 1999, elections in other states were done in December 1998. In Bayelsa State, it was delayed to January 1999 because of the crisis in the Niger Delta. So from the beginning of my political journey, I was involved in the Niger Delta crisis until I came here as a vice president and until as a president. And of course, even as a vice president, I visited one of the most notorious militant camps in the Niger Delta. But the Niger Delta militants' approach was quite different from that of the terrorists. The Niger Delta militants were not terrorists. I'm not trying to defend them because I am from there. Even when I was a deputy governor, as a governor, President Abduction sometimes sent for us and sent for the leaders of these boys. They used to come. Most of the names you are hearing that were agitators in the Niger Delta, somebody like Astari that is well known to most of you. I saw Astari for the first time in the State House here. When I came for a meeting with President Obasanjo, I didn't see him at all in the Niger Delta. A number of them it was in the State House here that we met. So they had the reason for the agitation. And when you call them for a meeting, either as state governors or the president, they appear. And they tell you what they want. These are people who want to kill. Niger Delta military did go to market and kill people or motor park and kill people. No. So the approach, when you talk about terrorists all over the world, as a journalist, you know that the approach of terrorists is different. The mentality of terrorists is different. Terrorists is based on ideology, based on religion or politics or something. Nobody has appeared that I'm a leader of Boko Haram. This is my problem, and I want to interface with government. So it's excellent. These are two different things that sometimes people mix it up. But in terms of using the Borno elders, the very first committee we set up was made up of people from Borno and Yobe State.